Welcome student. Today topic novel drug delivery system in which gastro-retentive drug delivery systems. You are looking at the figure, that is stomach. Stomach is the important organ for any solid oral dosage form supposed to release the medications into the stomach. From that the drug get absorbed to the central compartment. But stomach having some drawbacks, number of microenvironmental factors and the transit time of the stomach. So in this way, the novel drug delivery system, we are trying to develop gastro-retentive. Gastro-retentive means gastrointestinal tract, particularly the dosage form into the stomach. From that release the medications. The dosage form try to present more duration of time in the stomach, ultimately release the medication. So what are the major advantages of gastro-retentive delivery systems? Improved drug absorption, because they release steadily from the dosage form, ultimately get absorbed, that is called as improved drug absorption. Controlled delivery of drugs, that means in the immediate release system all the medications come immediately out of the dosage form, but here GRDDS controlled delivery of the drugs. Delivery of the drug for local action in the stomach. For example, H. pylori, the infection in the below the layers of the mucosa of stomach. So for that steady release of the drug wanted. So delivery of the drug to local action in the stomach. Minimize the mucosal irritation. Some drugs are more irritant in nature, immediately releasing the medicine, the drug from the dosage form. What happened? Some irritation in the stomach walls, ultimately damage, leads to the peptic ulcer and sometimes bleeding also. So we should avoid that situations by using the gastro-retentive drug delivery systems. Treatment of gastrointestinal disorders, from mouth to the anus, the tract, any disease, disorders, try to treat by oral dosage form, particularly GRDDS, it is most desirable advantages. Simple and conventional equipment for manufacture. This technology doesn't require the sophisticated hi-fi equipments. Simple, the conventional technology may be used for this gastro-retentive drug delivery systems. Site-specific drug delivery, where the drug to want to release from the GI tract. Suppose only the stomach for H. pylori, duodenum and for colon related disease. So site-specific delivery also possible by using gastrointestinal drug delivery systems. Ease of administration and better patient compliance, very important. The frequency of the dose will be reduced by the GRDDS and ultimately the patient compliance will be improved. So these are the major advantages. So what are the anticipated disadvantages? Every dosage form, every technology has inherent some properties that is the scientists are trying to eliminate, but still some disadvantages are there in the gastro-retentive drug delivery systems. They are not suitable candidate drug for with stability and solubility problem in the stomach. Those drug molecules not stable in the microenvironment of the stomach, that is called as a very hostile environment, that is acidic environment. The pH of the stomach and fasting condition 1.2 to 3. So some drugs are not stable in that environment. Very difficult to deliver through gastro-retentive drug delivery systems. Or solubility problem in the stomach. Or some drugs are not able to solve from the drug released and not dissolved in the fluid of the stomach, because the pH will be 1.2 to 3. The acidic environment, some drugs are not able to get solubilized in the system, GIT fluid systems. So such a drug molecules, such drug candidates are not able to deliver through GRDDS. These are disadvantages. Again, the GRDDS require sufficient level of fluid, the minimum amount of the fluid wanted, then only the system will be work. For that, minimum 2 to 250 ml. For example, the floating delivery system, the GRDS have a number of type of classifications. For an example, floating drug delivery system, floating tablet, micro balloons, microspheres, low density approaches. So, they want to float in the fluid of the stomach. For that, the patient should take the water minimum 200 to 250 ml with the dosage form. So, these are the disadvantages. Drugs having irritant effect on gastric mucosa are not suitable candidate. If the drug having any irritation, more irritant properties in the GIT mucosa, so such a drug not able to formulate in the GRDDS. Drugs which are absorbed along with the entire GIT, which undergo first metabolisms. So the drug released, and if the drug undergoes first metabolism throughout the GI tract, so such a drugs are not able to deliver through GRDDS. Such example of the drug is nifedipine, it's a calcium channel blockers. So these drugs get easily metabolized in first pass metabolism through the GI tract. So such a drug candidate, such a property having first pass effect of the drug in the GI tract, so those molecules we can put into the GRDS formulations. So you see the stomach, the structure of the stomach we are displaying here. So different parts will be noted: cardiac nodes, lesser curvature, duodenum, pylorus, greater curvature. So different parts of the stomach. So why? What is GRDDS? So what is the definition of the GRDDS? Why it is important? That things. What is GRDDS? Gastroretentive drug delivery is an approach to prolong gastric residence time. When you are putting the dosage form through mouth, the dosage form goes to the stomach and you have more residence time. For example, we are taking breakfast morning, next 3 to 4 hours, stomach get emptied. So the transit time will be 3 hours. If you are taking one dosage form, residence time is lesser, means ultimately the dosage goes to the fecal matter. So when the dose will be floating or adhesive in the mucosa, so in this way we are prolonging the gastric residence time. Prolonging the gastric residence time, ultimately what happens? More chances there to release the medications and the continuous therapeutic effect. These are the expected outcomes. Thereby targeting site-specific drug delivery system to release the medicament in the upper part of the gastrointestinal tract for local and systemic effect. GRDS, we are applying for both approach, systemic effect also, that is the infection or the total body requires some medications, we can use by GRDDS, or sometime only require the drug amoebiasis, peptic ulcer. These conditions require the local effect of the drug. So we can use GRDDS for local effect also and also for systemic effect also. So now why GRDDS needed? What is the purpose? So GRDDS is a oral approach and also sustained approach, oral approach and also sustained approach. The drug delivery system suffer from two main adversities. The simple oral dosage form, two adversities: one, gastric retention time and gastric transit time. So the short gastric retention time and unpredictable short gastric emptying time. Gastric retention time means how much duration the dosage form retained in the stomach, that is called as gastric retention time, and gastric emptying time or gastric transit time, that means from the stomach to the dosage move to the lower part, that is called as gastric emptying time, which can result in the incomplete drug release. The quickly residence passed out. So those dosage form having a incomplete release of the drug from the dosage form in the absorption zone, particularly the upper part of the stomach and small intestine, leading to diminished efficacy of administered dose, So the drug will be wastage. To formulate a site-specific orally administered controlled release dosage form, it is desirable to achieve a prolonged gastric residence. So the technology will be applied the prolongation of the gastric residence time by the drug delivery. Prolonged gastric retention time in the stomach could be advantageous for local action, particularly the treatment of peptic ulcer. Potential drug candidate for gastrointestinal drug delivery systems. So, what type of drug and what situations we should use the applications of GRDD principles? Point number 1, drugs acting locally in the stomach, that is active in stomach, example antacids, ranitidine, cimetidine, pantoprazole, these drugs, and drugs for H. pylori, Helicobacter pylorus, for that misoprostol, these are the drug, they want to retain the drug in the stomach. Point number 2, drugs that are primarily absorbed in the stomach, example amoxicillin. Amoxicillin is a broad spectrum antibiotic. The absorption window of the drug will be amoxicillin, and also the drug used for number of purposes. For systemic absorption, the drug should be absorbed mostly in the stomach area. Drugs that are poorly soluble at alkaline pH. So those drugs having poor solubility in alkaline pH, for that drugs we are using the GRDDS. Example furosemide, diuretic drugs, diazepam, verapamil, these are the drugs very commonly used in the GRDD formulations. Drugs with narrow window of absorption. Some drug won't selectively absorb only stomach or only small intestine or only duodenum region. So such a drug molecule that is called as narrow spectrum of absorption. Those drug molecules having a narrow spectrum of absorption, cyclosporine, methotrexate and levodopa, this drug only absorb a selected site in the GI tract. So such a drug will be formulated in the GRDDS. Drugs which are absorbed rapidly from the GI tract, though some drugs have immediately get absorbed, metronidazole and tetracyclines immediately get absorbed. So we have to delay the absorption. For that GRDD approach will be applied. Drugs that degrade in the colon, some drugs get degraded in the colon, ranitidine, metformin hydrochloride. Metformin hydrochloride is used for the treatment of diabetes. So such a drug, those drugs immediately get degrading from the colon, there is a large intestine in the GI tract. Such a drug we can formulate in the GRDDS. Drugs that disturb normal colonic microbes. Our colon is the environment for plenty of microorganisms. Some drug they released in the GI tract, ultimately they inhibit the or destroy the growth of microbes, microflora in the colon. Example of such a drugs, antibiotics against H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori. So such a drug candidate, such a drug molecules are formulated in the dosagium as gastroretentive drug delivery systems. Factors affecting the gastroretentive drug delivery systems. So what are the factors affecting to development of the such a system? Density of the drug candidate and dosage form, size of the dosage form and the amount of the drug in the dosage form and the shape of the dosage form, single or multiple unit formulation, and the factor particularly we are taking the food material, and after that we are taking the dosage form, it is called as fed condition and the fasting condition, unfed condition state. Biological factors, biological factor means the patient previous history of the disease, sex, hormonal effect, these are the biological factors. Nature of meal, what type of meal we are taking, fatty materials, only carbohydrate and only vegetables. So the nature of food materials, what we are putting as a food material, and frequency of feed, then we are taking number of frequency 3 times, 5 times. So, the frequency of the feed alter or as a challenge for the gastroretentive drug delivery systems, and the gender, male and female, age group, children's, geriatrics and pediatrics, age group, posture, so how we are sleeping, how we are sitting, and finally last one, concomitant drug administration. Suppose we are taking the one drug for one disease state, same time we are consuming another drug also, GRDDS formulations. So, these are the factors which interfere, which alter the release kinetic of the drug from the dosage form. So, what are the different approaches for GRDDS? How to retain the dosage form in the stomach, that is called as gastroretentive drug delivery systems. So, what are the different approaches we are using? The topmost first point is low density. I am telling that from the clockwise direction, low density system and mucoadhesive system, floating dosage forms, superporous hydrogels, swelling and expandable systems, self unfolding systems, high density systems, raft forming systems. So, these are the 8 different types of under one category, that is called as gastroretentive drug delivery system. It depends upon the drug nature, depends upon the need, depends upon the feasibility. We can select the any one method, maybe low density system approach, maybe mucoadhesive system approach, maybe floating dosage form approach, superporous hydrogel approach, swelling and expandable system approach, self unfolding system approach, high density approach, and last one, raft forming systems approach. See, this diagram illustrate what we explained earlier. This diagram indicate the first one, high density systems. So, based on the density approach, low density approach, high density approach. The high density approach, the dosage form, they go to the bottom first layer of the stomach, because the density of the dosage form is greater than the stomach fluids. The second one, floating system, that means low density approach, that means the density of the GRDS dosage form is lesser than stomach fluid, and superporous hydrogels. So, they will swell. Mucoadhesive systems, that means the stomach having 4 layers, mucosa, submucosa, serosa, and the last muscle layer. The first layer is mucosa. The mucosa, the dosage form get adhesive, get pasted on the, we are not pasting, such a material polymer we are applying, the dosage form go to the bottom of the stomach layer, mucosa layer, and get bind on the cells, that is called as mucoadhesive systems. There are a number of approaches in that subclasses. And expandable systems, when they go to the oral to stomach, the system get expand and release the medications. A requirement for the gastric retention. So, what are the basic requirements to be considered the retention of the dosage form in the stomach? The ultimate object of the GRDDS is to improve the retention time, to improve the transit time. This is the ultimate goal. We are developing such a system. So, the first point is dosage form must satisfy certain requirements. Able to withstand the forces caused by peristaltic waves in the stomach. The stomach having a 3 type of mechanism, simply acronymically called as PSP, peristaltic movement, pendular movement. So, these are the movement in the stomach, segmental movement, peristaltic, pendular and segmental movement. such a movement, what happened? The dosage form normal conventional immediate release dosage immediately get emptied. But the scientists are trying to retain the dosage form in the stomach, even though in the normal peristaltic conditions, the movement of the stomach, that is called peristaltic movement, waves in the stomach, and constant contraction and grinding and churning mechanisms. So, when you are taking food material, the food materials digestion takes place with continuous movement of the food in the pylorus antrum. So, this is churning effect mechanisms. So, the dosage form, the food moves from the stomach, but the GRDS dosage form never move out of the stomach. Such a system to be developed. Resist premature gastric emptying. So, the dosage form should resist premature gastric emptying. Gastric emptying is natural phenomena, but the dosage form retained in the stomach. Device would be removed from the stomach with ease. Suppose any side effect, unwanted effect, we are consumed the dose, the patient not feeling comfort with the dosage form, easy to remove. Any conditions, such a conditions, the patient health suffering more after taking the GRDS. Such a situations, the dose would be or the device would be easily get removed. So, these are the basic consideration requirements for GIT retention time for gastrointestinal drug delivery systems. So, the various approaches, the first diagram we shown that some overall scheme. Now, we can discuss some floating delivery systems. Approaches having gastric tension. So, what are the different approaches having the gastric tension? Based on the density approach, low density or high density of the stomach fluid. Intrinsic intragastric floating system. The diagram, the first diagram shows that the dosage form floating on the GIT fluid. The second diagram shows that the dosage form zinc in the bottom of the stomach layer. The first one, the dosage form, the first diagram dosage form, the floating system, that is called as intragastric floating system. The density is greater than 1 gram square meter cube. The second case, the density is greater than the stomach fluid, high density systems. So, by using the principles of GIT fluid, that is called as gastric fluid, of the density of the gastric fluid play a major role how to control the floating mechanism. Suppose we want to the floating mechanism or we want to adhesive mechanism, we can follow the principles of density of the GIT gastric fluid. By using these approaches, accordingly we can design such a system. So, for GRDS, what are the basic requirement we need? The major requirement for floating drug delivery systems. Floating the SIP on the C like that. C is our stomach fluid, SIP is the dosage form. So, C the density of the fluid, stomach fluid, SIP the density of the dosage form. So, the major requirement for floating drug delivery system are release content slowly to serve as a reservoir. The drug medicament from the dosage may release content slowly to serve as a reservoir. The second one, maintain specific gravity lower than gastric content. The specific gravity, the density, that means the dosage form density we should maintain is lower than gastric fluid density, then only the system float. The system means gastrointestinal drug delivery system float on the GIT fluid. Form a cohesive gel barrier between the stomach fluid and the giardias, they form a cohesive gel barrier. They will control the release of the drug from the dosage form. The inherent low density can be provided by the how to maintain the low density of the dosage form by entrapment provided by the entrapment of air, hollow chambers, or incorporation of the low density materials, fatty materials or oils or foam materials, foam powders. So, this is a single unit floating system. Then come to the multiple unit floating system preferred as a single unit dosage system. So, multiple layers, multiple unit in the same dosage form. It is most advantageous than single unit dosage form because of dose dumping. By chance, the single unit dosage form, any dosage failure, in the sense dose dumping, they are not able to release medicament. So, what happened? Dose dumping, particularly potent medicament, chronic disease, dose dumping issues are there, or sometimes dose besting effect also possible. So, anticipating this side effect, the untoward effect, we can develop a multiple floating system. Multiple floating system, the requirement is air compartment in the multiple system. Example, hollow microspheres, synonymously called as micro balloons or microparticles. Based on the mechanism of buoyancy, buoyancy means floating, buoyancy means floating. Based on the mechanism of buoyancy, two distinctly different technologies, non-effervescent and effervescent systems. The floating technology, in which we are using the two approaches, effervescent system based approach, non-effervescent system based approach, have been utilized in a development of floating drug delivery system. Non-effervescent system preferred from a gel forming or highly soluble cellulose type, example hydrocolloids, polysaccharides, or matrix forming polymers like polyacrylate, polycarbonate, polystyrene, polymethacrylate. These are the commonly used gel forming, that is the soluble cellulose type, and matrix type. The air trapped by the swollen polymer confers buoyancy to the dosage form. How much air molecules will be trapped in the dosage form? That signifies the floating time and duration. For that, we are commonly using excipients are HPMC, polyacrylate, polyvinyl acetate, carbopol, agar, sodium alginate, calcium chloride, polyethylene oxide and polycarbonates. So, these are the commonly using excipients in the dosage form, GRDS, air trapped techniques. This system further divided into two categories, subtypes: hydrodynamically balanced system. Hydrodynamically balanced system means floating on the GIT fluid by the balance of the density. Drug plus gel forming hydrocolloids. Drug plus gel forming hydrocolloids, that is buoyant. Single unit dosage form contains one or more gel forming hydrophilic polymers. Single unit dosage form contains one or more gel forming hydrophilic polymers. Commonly using excipients in the second case is HPMC, HEC, HPC, sodium CMC, polycarbophyl, polyacrylate, polystyrene, agar and alginic acids. Drug plus polymers, the capsule cell dissolved in contact with the water and mixture swells to form a gelatinous barrier which imparts buoyancy to dosage form in gastric juice for a longer period. Incorporation of fatty excipients give low density formulation, reducing the erosion. The capsule will be developed by using the drug plus polymer. The cell dissolves in the contact with the water. Contact with the water means when they are taking the dosage form, go to the stomach, contact with the water and mixture. The fluids called as water and mixture swells to form a gelatinous barrier, which impart buoyancy. Then they start to float in the gastric juice for a longer period. Incorporation of fatty excipients gives low density formulation and reduces the erosion. Today we are discuss that GRDS system in which, so what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, what are the requirements we discussed. So this is the topic of today. Thank you.